Listen closely, because what you are about to hear is a declaration of political war disguised as a prediction, a shocking revelation that exposes who is really running the show in the corridors of power. Leader Julius Malema has just issued a stunning public warning, naming the man he says is on an unstoppable path to claim the crown of the African National Congress. He claims that ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula is set to become the next party president, and that the current Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, is floundering far behind in the race. This isn't just analysis, it's a strategic grenade thrown directly into the heart of the ruling party by its most prominent former member. So who is telling the truth? Is Mbalula really leading this marathon, or is Malema playing a dangerous game of political chess, using his voice to shape a reality that benefits his own ambitions? The answer to that question could determine the future of South Africa. Let's break down this explosive claim. Malema didn't just whisper this in a corridor, he stood before the media and framed the entire recent ANC National General Council as Mbalula's personal show of force. He described scenes designed to send shivers down the spine of any rival party members singing Mbalula's name in front of President Cyril Ramaphosa himself, and the Secretary-General holding court in lengthy media briefings. In Malema's telling, this was not a party meeting but a carefully staged demonstration of raw, ascendant power. He's going for a kill, Malema warned, stating that Mbalula will emerge victorious unless something drastic happens. This language is intentional. It's not about policy or renewal, it's framed as a brutal takeover. Do you think a party gathering should be used as a platform for one leader's ambition, or is this just normal internal politics? The metaphor Malema chose is brutally simple and effective. If this leadership race were a marathon, Mbalula is ahead, Paul Mashatile is trying to catch up. With that one line, he painted the deputy president as a lagging, struggling contender. This is a devastating public perception to attach to a man who holds the country's second highest office. But is Malema's assessment accurate, or is he deliberately undermining Mashatile? What do you believe gives a candidate a true lead in this invisible race? Control of the party machinery, public popularity, or backroom deals? To understand the weight of this insult against Mashatile, you must understand his journey. Paul Mashatile is no political lightweight. His roots run deep, from anti-apartheid activism in Alexandra Township to becoming the Premier of Gauteng and a key cabinet minister. He built a formidable power base in the country's economic heartland, leading the provincial ANC for a decade. He served as the party's Treasurer-General and even acted as Secretary-General before becoming Deputy President. This is a resume of a patient, strategic operator who has waited his turn. Yet, here he is being publicly described as someone who can't keep up. Why do you think a figure with such a long history and apparent position is being framed as weak? Does this suggest his support is softer than it appears, or that new rules are in play? The backdrop for this drama is a party in undeniable crisis. The ANC is reeling from its worst-ever electoral performance, scraping just over 40% of the national vote. The talk at its NGC was supposed to be about renewal, about saving the sinking ship. Instead, according to Malema and many analysts, it became the opening salvo in the battle to seize control of the bridge. Mbalula himself has positioned his public messaging around this very theme of discipline and unity, framing himself as the man to revive the party. But his critics see a darker purpose. They accuse him of using his powerful position as Secretary-General, the head of the party's daily administration and organization, to build a political machine of loyalists and sideline rivals. Is a call for unity ever just a call for unity, or is it always a tool for those already in charge? Malema's commentary goes beyond mere horse race analysis. He uses this moment to deliver a scathing indictment of the ANC's entire culture, a culture he knows intimately from the inside. He argues that the party's decline is rooted in its systemic failure to hold members accountable. He points to a stunning personal example. Even when he, as a youth leader, was facing serious front-page legal troubles, no one in the ANC's top structures ever asked him to explain himself. He extended this to the recent NGC, questioning why a figure like former Minister Becky Seal was present without being held to account for his alleged associations. In Malema's view, this isn't just about Mbalula's ambition, it's about a party that has lost its moral compass, where discipline is dead and mediocrity is tolerated. Do you agree that a lack of accountability is the ANC's original sin, or are there deeper, more structural issues at play? Now, consider the profound irony of the messenger. Julius Malema was expelled from the ANC over a decade ago. He now leads its most vocal and disruptive opposition party. So why does he care so deeply about the ANC's internal succession? Why is he, as one analyst suggested, seemingly obsessed with the party he left behind? The answer is power. Malema understands that the ANC, despite its weakened state, remains the epicenter of South African politics. Its internal fractures and leadership choices create opportunities for the F. He is not a bystander offering commentary, he is a player actively trying to influence the board. By anointing Mbalula as the frontrunner, is he trying to make it a reality? By undermining Mashatile, is he trying to weaken a potential rival? What do you think Malema's endgame is here? The plot thickens when you look beyond the two men in Malema's frame. The succession race is far more crowded and unpredictable than a simple head-to-head. A recent poll by the Social Research Foundation threw a bombshell into the mix, suggesting that billionaire businessman and CAF president Patrice Martsep, who has publicly said he will not run, actually leads popular sentiment. Furthermore, the ANC Women's League is pushing for the party's first female president, bringing powerful figures like Deputy Secretary-General Nomvula Mokonyan and National Assembly Speaker Thoko Didiza into contention. Another name in the mix is Electricity Minister Kozientsha Ramokgopa, who some insiders suggest may have President Ramaphosa's quiet favor. With so many potential players, why would Malema focus so narrowly on Mbalula versus Mashatile? Is he simplifying a complex field, or is he trying to clear that field for a specific outcome? Let's examine Mbalula's own actions, which seem to tell a story of their own. At the NGC, he launched a striking public attack on the ANC's failed leadership in KwaZulu-Natal, a crucial province. He famously compared their recovery effort to bringing aid Ferrari but ending up with aid Toyota Taz. This wasn't just criticism, it was a very public humiliation of veteran Jeff Rabe, who was tasked with the rebuild and is also a presidential hopeful. Political analysts see this as a classic tactic, using your organizational authority to weaken rivals from other factions, particularly those from the influential KZN region. When a party secretary-general starts publicly dismantling the work of other senior leaders, is that the act of a neutral administrator focused on renewal, or a contender clearing the track? Despite all the mounting evidence and commentary, Mbalula maintains a consistent public denials. "I am not campaigning," he has insisted, calling talk of the 2027 succession premature and stating his focus is solely on rebuilding the ANC. This is the standard script for any ambitious politician in a party that claims to dislike overt ambition. But in the face of Malema's very specific warning and the visible maneuvering at the NGC, do these denials hold any weight? Can someone in the most powerful organizational role in the party truly avoid being a candidate? Or is the role itself the ultimate campaign platform? The implications of this power struggle stretch far beyond Luthuli House. They reach directly into the Government of National Unity, NU. In a revealing twist, Malema has connected his Mbalula prediction to the F's own national ambitions. He suggested that the F remains interested in joining the NU, but that this would likely happen after Mbalula takes the presidency, with the expectation that the Democratic Alliance and Freedom Front Plus would be kicked out. Think about that for a moment. Malema is not just predicting a leadership change, he is outlining a potential future coalition realignment contingent on that change. He is essentially forecasting a dramatic shift in South Africa's governing alliance based on who wins an internal ANC battle. Do you believe opposition parties should plan their strategies around the internal battles of the ruling party, or does this give the ANC too much power over the political landscape? This brings us to the heart of the public's frustration. For the average South African grappling with unemployment, crime, and crumbling services, this entire spectacle must seem like a sick joke. While the nation burns, the political elite is engrossed in a lavish, self-serving Game of Thrones. The ANC's NGC, a meeting that should have been a sober reflection on electoral failure, is instead dissected as a stage for personal ambition. The Secretary-General, who should be fixing the party's broken structures, is accused of building his own empire. The Deputy President, who should be helping to govern, is portrayed as a man fighting for his political life. Who is actually governing South Africa while this marathon plays out? Malema's role as the narrator of this crisis is itself a subject of intense debate. Some see him as a vital truth-teller, using his platform and insider knowledge to expose the rot. Others see him as a master manipulator, stirring chaos and deepening divisions within the ANC to create openings for his own party. His memorable jab at the leader John Steenhuisen, branding him Uber Eats, shows his talent for using ridicule as a political weapon. But when he turns that same spotlight on the ANC succession, is he providing a service or conducting a psychological operation? Can we ever separate the accuracy of his analysis from the self-interest of his goals? The historical weight of this moment cannot be overstated. The ANC is the party of liberation, the movement that ended apartheid. The battle to lead it is, in a symbolic sense, a battle for the soul of post-apartheid South Africa. Will it be led by a seasoned but allegedly struggling insider like Mashatile, a dynamic, organizationally savvy operator like Mbalula, a compromise candidate like Didiza or Ramokapa, or will the party's decline continue regardless of the winner? The 2027 conference is still 2 years away, but the campaign is already in full swing. The silence from the top is deafening. President Ramaphosa, the man Mbalula and Mashatile ostensibly serve, has watched this unfold. What must he be thinking as his deputy is publicly counted out and his Secretary-General is anointed as heir apparent, all by the leader of the F? So, we are left with Malema's stark warning hanging in the air. Mbalula is going to be the president of the ANC if there's no serious intervention made to stop him. This is more than a prediction, it is a challenge. It is a challenge to the other factions within the ANC to unite and stop him. It is a challenge to Mashatile to prove his relevance. It is a signal to the F space about where future alliances may lie. And it is a provocation to the South African public to pay attention to where real power is shifting. The question for you is this: do you believe Julius Malema? Is Fikile Mbalula truly the unstoppable force in the ANC, or is this a brilliant piece of political misdirection? Who do you think is the strongest candidate to lead the ANC, and does that person have what it takes to save the party from itself? The marathon has begun. The runners are jostling for position. But in this race, the loudest voice on the sidelines may be the one deciding the pace.